Chucky, get up! You fuck with my familia, eh? You gotta answer to me here and now. Come on!
In the dollars and I hope I got this number kid because we never fall the bringing it, taking it, bringing it low, bringing on with no bodies, no hoes. You're talking that shit, but they ain't never got the flow. Okay, Doogie.
You ready to throw jodazos, papa? Simón Piñón. Fuck yeah.
Yo, Adam, where you at? Time killer, I speak go down. Got a couple $100 as we hit the town. Made a slide down the street with the blade of rounds. Let a homie on the mic with the funky sound. In the bottle with the thin, fresh, cold top pan. Little Mac in the back with my Glock straight gripped. In the South, man, you know that I'm about to stay clicked. I'm a creeper with the mask and the chop straight rip. Yeah, play a swing as a swing with the Mac. I'm a creeper with the trigger.
Welcome to the Doogie podcast. It's episode 14. Yeah.
Oh, it's recording? I didn't know.
Yeah, it's recording.
Yeah.
But alright, welcome to the Doogie podcast, episode 14. Got the homie Ivan here.
What's up?
Known him forever. He's friends since like kindergarten, third grade. I would say we've seen each other from like around kindergarten to third grade, but I would say we became good friends in third grade.
Third grade, yeah. We had Ms. Murray together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because I remember you rode your bike with Junior one time to my mobile home. And I remember I moved out of that house when I was like in first grade.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have been like first grade. But I think we were only friends at the playground and not so much like in the classroom because we had different classes. Who was your first grade teacher?
Miss Forg.
Was it really?
Miss Forg, yeah.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, we probably became friends like that year then.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, we were on there.
Yeah.
But now we went to the same elementary school, same middle school, same high school, and now we're just out about in the real world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that been?
Good. I'm about to start a new job. First day's tomorrow, orientation, so that'll be fun. But just trying to, I don't know, there's just certain jobs you have to do or apply for to make more money, and there's certain jobs that you can do that are easy, but you won't get paid as much, but it's really what you're willing to do at the end of the day, so.
I think, yeah, that's the case, you know? Mm-hmm. It's easy, but, like, money's a demand, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to move up, you got to make more.
Yeah.
And sometimes to make more, you got to do more.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to do this real quick.
No, you're good.
I don't even know. Like, that one's too big.
So what's been new with you? Like, what's with the music?
Well, I've been trying. Well, like I said, I gave up energy drinks for Easter. Well, I got tested for ADHD too. I don't know if I told you that.
How'd that turn out?
Well, since I have a little, they said I have it. They said I have it a lot of it, which is surprising to me because I always felt like I had it a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, they told me that I kind of have it, and I believe it because I see it every single day, like everything that I do.
It's like a broad spectrum. I heard of it, ADHD.
Yeah.
But you're on it, kind of.
Well, I have it, yeah, but I'm not taking any medication or anything like that because I don't want to. But but whenever I take energy drinks, it gets me like in a groove right away. Like if I'm editing a video, I'm like I won't stop until it's over, or I won't finish a song until it's like all the way done in one session, not just like 2 days, like literally one session. Well, all the songs I recorded, I think I recorded all of them in one day, except Figure It Out. That one was more like
Because that was your first one. You were experimenting. You know, you didn't really know what you were doing.
Yeah. I think all the rest of them I did like not one take, but like all in one day. But that doesn't mean I posted them the same day too. I just had them
finished and shit.
Yeah.
What like, obviously you have like a very like wide taste of music. So like, what inspires you the most when you like what do you think when you make music? Like, do you think of an artist or you just like reflect internally?
Well, that's what my friend Carter was asking me last podcast too. But you said it a little bit different, but. I don't know, like, for example, like, when I made my song Arigato Vato, I had just watched Blood In, Blood Out for the first time, and that really opened my eyes to, like, not necessarily what it means to be Chicano, but, like, I guess, kind of, but, like, the brotherhood in it, I guess. Not even just gang-related or anything like that, just, like, the love you should have for someone that's the same race as you, and people who are also outside the same race as you, you know, but just in general, just people, because we're all united, even though the United States says we're united as one, even though we're really not, because like we've seen it all. I mean, just American history in general is just not united in general. So I mean, there's something that happens every week or month.
I was watching this TikTok where it was all like they were making fun of like people from our generation and shit like that, like how we don't want to work anymore.
Yeah.
And then this guy, like this older, like blue collar gentleman, he was all like, this gentleman, he's all like, he's like, I'll tell you why the reason why the new generation doesn't want to work, and it's because they realize that the government doesn't care about them.
Yeah.
And he decided, like, kind of like, for example, like when COVID happened, the government kind of turned its back on their workers, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they were paying bigger businesses to stay in business and not giving anything to the workers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? and they realize like no matter how hard I work, no matter how loyal I am to my job, when my back's up against the wall, they're not gonna be there for me. And that just goes to show in COVID. You know, people were getting laid off, people were getting hours cut and shit. I mean, obviously it was unpredictable, but if your job's not gonna take care of you, then where's the loyalty? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, but like the whole Chicano thing, you know, I mean, I'm really new to it, you know. I mean, I'm sure we've had this conversation thousands of times, but like,
Yeah.
I'm starting to like accept it as something that I am,
Mhm.
you know, because before I didn't really like see myself as Chicano because I was never really brought up with that culture.
Yeah.
But now I just kind of understand a little bit more and see what it means, you know, because we're outsiders, kind of.
Mhm.
I think that's what Chicanos are. They're outsiders.
Yeah.
Although they have such a big presence in the United States, I still see them as outsiders.
Yeah.
Or I still see us as outsiders. Because we're not fully accepted by the Mexicans. We're not fully accepted by the Americans. We're kind of our own thing.
Mhm.
And I guess that to me is what's like the beauty of Chicano culture.
Yeah.
Is because it's so different from both. But so it's got like similarities on both sides.
Oh yeah, it's because it's like there's Mexicans in Mexico
Mhm.
and there's Mexicans that are like born and raised here, and it's like totally different. Like you can see the
Yeah.
difference because I can tell the difference between me and like my cousins that are like around the same age as me that are from Mexico. I can just feel the difference in like not the culture as much, maybe a little bit, but like just like the things that are around you. Because here we have a lot of freedom.
Mhm.
The culture is, I guess, a little bit different. The way we speak, the way we joke, maybe a little bit too. Because I know American humor, like our
Very
age, you can.
different, yeah.
It's kind of weird the way that we all joke, but I guess what I'm trying to say is like for example, like I was talking to this one guy, and he was saying that he liked dressing like a zoot suiter.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like that. And he had ran into some guys from like and this is all at a dance.
Yeah.
And he was saying that that's how he dressed on the stage. No one else in his band dressed like that, like a zoot suiter, but he liked that because that was his style. He liked the way he looked in it and like dressed and nice shoes, everything like that.
Stacey Adams and stuff.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So two bands were performing, his band and the other one, and the other band they were dressed up just like every other like Mexican like I mean I don't know.
Like norteños.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, like just like a normal like a band. But anyways, they're like you know how they dress. They dress like in those like
the suits and like the
the
helmets
hats that
and,
are like not the wide ones, but like the curved
Yeah,
in
much-
ones, kind of
yeah.
yeah. So like those are two sides, zoot suiter type vibe, and then those guys. And then I remember he was saying that like they were looking at him, and he could like tell they were like talking shit about him,
judging him.
and he's like, I don't care, like it doesn't matter, just how I dress,
Mhm.
and like it's kind of cool that he shows that side of him because he was born and raised here. And even though like his dad or like his great grandfather are from Mexico and they're technically in the same bloodline with those guys that are making fun of them,
Yeah.
but it's just that he's like a modern Chicano inside of America. He's basically a representation of a Mexican inside of U.S. atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Because Chicanos, I would say, when they moved here, they took inspirations, whether it's clothing or whatever, and kind of twisted it into their own. For example, like I would say, because you know, like for example, like when you see Chicanos in like the '90s, they were wearing like wife beaters and like Dickies or like
and all
Cortez,
that.
and I would say that came from like the '90s in general, because everyone was wearing baggy clothes,
Yeah,
baggy
and,
jeans.
Like sneakers were really popping in the
Yeah.
90s and stuff. 80s and 90s coming up. Yeah.
So it kind of shows you how we kind of tapped into that, and I would say that probably started in
The 60s, I think.
well I know in the '60s they would wear like the zoot suiter like type of vibe, and then the '70s probably very similar as well, I'm guessing, and then I'm thinking it kind of faded away in the '80s a little bit, little by little. I feel like people started wearing like
The flannels and stuff. Oh, that's close to the 90s, no?
Well, no, I want to say in the '80s, I want to say it was more like jeans and like a wife beater, or jeans and like a shirt, or I mean I don't know, I'm not the best to this knowledge, but just from what I've
like
seen.
I said, I'm very new to it, so I don't really know. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not even claiming to be a specialist on it. I can appreciate it for what it is. You know, it's a culture, and I can admire it. You know, it's a part of me, kinda. I'm part of that. I fit in that that group. You know, but I was never really raised with that culture. You know what I mean? I was, you know, I'm the first generation. You know, I'm first gen here in the United States. So it's like I didn't have any cousins that were here before, or like anybody like any like ancestors here. You know, I'm first generation born here, So it was way different, you know. But technically, like if you want to be specific, I am by the technical definition of Chicano. I'm Chicano, you know, and I'm just slowly starting to accept it. You know, I always identified as Mexican, you know, as Mexican American, but Chicano it is, you know.
Yeah. I remember my grandpa, like, ever since I was little, he'd always say, like, oh, like, we're Chicano, or, like, when he was younger, they'd always say, like, Chicano power, and, like, that's what that guy was telling me, too, like, in school, like, when the Chicano power movement was going on, or Chicano movement was going on, like, they would always be, like, screaming in the halls, like, Chicano power, like, all the time, stuff like that, but you don't see that anymore, like, I feel like just Mexicans in general have just, like, just all gone separate ways. There's just so many different versions. You got the Edgars, you got like
the gangbangers and stuff.
Those, and then you have like
soccer kids.
Soccer kids. Yeah, there's like so many. Or people who go to like bailes and shit. Cause like we don't do that stuff. I would say we're more entitled to like the American culture than we are like in itself. But I don't know. I always wanted to go to like a baile or something and just go dressed up nice and just go dance with someone or something.
Yeah, something like that. Just to get a feel for it. That's why I feel like to me like that's why I never because I didn't like putting a label on myself. You know? So I was like being broad. It's like just like never chaining myself down to one idea. You know, so no one can tell me like, oh, he's like this or he's like that.
Yeah.
Because like one day I'll be looking like this and then the next day I'll dress like that and just I like being broad.
Yeah.
It's like with like music and stuff. I was remember when I was driving the company truck. I had to go drop off these workers, and they weren't even part of our crew. They were just helping out. And I was playing my music, and this guy looked at me. He's like, "How do you know this music?" And I was like, "I just like older stuff." And he's like, "Oh, these guys are dead." And
yeah, don't mind all the random shit you're gonna hear in the background.
So I mean, I just don't like being easy to read. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't like being like
kind of like you like being mysterious a little bit.
Not necessarily mysterious, but yeah, mysterious definitely. But like, I don't want anybody to feel like they could look at me and by glance know what kind of person I am, you know. Okay. I think that's my biggest I take a lot of pride in that because there's more than meets the eye to me, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, that's what. But like the whole like Chicano thing, you know, it's like I don't know. My girlfriend's dad was telling me about when he was growing up. He's not Chicano. He was born in Mexico, but he came here when he was really young. You know, kind of like your dad. You know? Because your dad can like really relate to that culture, even though he's not part of it.
Are they around the same age?
No, he's 50 now.
Oh, okay.
But he was telling me about when he was growing up. He was racist.
Yeah.
Because he lived in Southwest Houston, and you know, there's obviously the Hispanic area and then the Black area. But they all went. They were around this. They went to. There's two schools, you know. They weren't necessarily segregated, but like one school was a little more prominent towards like the Hispanic side, and the other one to the Black side, you know. Yeah. And they would clash a lot, you know. And he told me that there would be like riots during lunch and stuff like that, and how they'd be like, you know, like that one scene from the Bronx Tale. He's like, "Get out of here," you know. They'd be like that, you know, and they would get down like that. And he told me that it took him years to like kind of work like once he grew up and realized that stuff was petty, you know.
Yeah.
And like to kind of grow out of it, like he'd see a black guy at the store and still like.
Yeah.
Like size them up a little bit. But I mean, I don't necessarily consider that like racist. It's just like a bad blood type thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when we were watching Blood In, Blood Out the other night. Yeah. When we were here. And I was like realizing it's like Tres Puntos and Vatos Locos, they have no really reason to beef with each other. They're just different neighborhoods and they don't get along.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of something like that's the way I see it, you know? But it's just like people find ways to like separate themselves from each other.
Yeah. And it's like, our city's big, but it's not like crazy big. I feel like there's nothing in this town that brings like Chicanos together in general, like at all. And like, I feel like there should be something like, I don't know what, but for example, like we have car meets, for example, like they're not very big, but like some person will post on their story like, oh, like there's a car meet at Island Grove or whatever, but like, I don't know. There's just certain ways that Chicanos in general could, I feel like, or just here in Greeley in general, just try to come together. And that's what I'm trying to do too, a little bit too. I'm trying to like, I don't know, because it was hard for me growing up because my mom spoke English and she had to teach herself Spanish eventually, but like by the time she had me, she basically already knew it. Yeah. So it wasn't talked around the house because my mom and dad, they never really spoke Spanish to each other unless they needed to like say something that I wasn't supposed to hear. But but it was just hard for me, like, growing up and, like, not being able to talk to my grandparents, you know? Like, on my dad's side.
Yeah.
Like, I can talk to my grandpa about anything, just, like, the Lakers or the Cowboys or, like, whatever, like, did you see, like, on the news or whatever. But, like, when I go to my grandpa's house, it's just, like, I say hi, and then they'll, like, say something, like, about, like, how's this going, or how's work going, and then good, and then after that, it's, like, I can't really say much, and I want to talk to them, but it's, like...
You can't. There's that barrier.
Yeah, and it's, like, I wish I could get all that time back that I had since I was younger, because I feel like I have a better relationship with them now. And, yeah, I could teach myself Spanish, but then I'm, like... It'd be, like, really time-consuming, too, because there's a lot of things that I want to do right now, too. So, like, learning Spanish would be a whole other, like, thing I'd have to do. And it'd be a good skill to start learning, don't get me wrong, but, I don't know, I feel like maybe that's kind of a good thing, because I feel like I kind of want to be a symbol for people who don't speak Spanish, but are Chicano, because there's a lot of them out there that are just like me, or maybe don't even look Hispanic, maybe, like some Hispanics could see me and be like, oh, you look white, or some white people could say, like, you look Mexican, or, like, whatever else you want to call me, but, like I would say, I'm deep down, I'm still, like, Chicano, regardless.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that reminds me of, like, this thing that Tyler, the Creator, said. He was all like, I was too white for the black kids and too black for the white kids.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can kind of relate to that, you know, because you were too brown for the white kids and too white for the brown kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that was kind of weird, because, like, in elementary, there was no really, there wasn't any Mexicans in, kindergarten class, and then, like, first grade, yes. But I always, for some reason, leaned more to the white people, because, I mean, that's how the kindergarten was. It was just, like, you know, like...
A lot of white kids.
So, yeah. And then as soon as, like, fourth grade came around the corner, like, I got separated from, like, my white friends, and then, like, I was still friends with, like, Chicanos as well, or, like, Mexicans, like, the Mexican friends, too. But eventually... I could tell the difference, like, as we were getting older, like,
the culture,
sixth grade, and then, like, fifth grade, I could really tell, like, a lot. But, like, not really. Just, like, you can see it. Like, at Northridge, like, there's, like, the white kids, and it's literally all white kids, you know what I mean? And,
well, like, whitewashed Mexicans, too.
That too. You know? And then there's, like, the Mexicans, like, the Mexicans, like, I don't want to say names because I don't want to, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of weird. High school is a big example of
it's like a melting pot, you know.
Yeah.
What I mean? That's why I never wanted to live to live myself. You know what I mean? Because I could hang out with all kinds. Not necessarily hang out, but like be around different kinds of people and not care. Yeah. Because I feel like there's this term I just learned yesterday too. I know it sounds weird. I don't want to be pretentious about it, but it's a term called sonder. It basically means like coming to the realization that everyone around you, every stranger, every person, everything you see on the street, they have their own life, as equally as complex and as unique as your own.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's what really made it. I've always had that term, you know, that mentality that everybody has their own life, you know.
Yeah.
And it made it really easy for me to be able to be around different people because you know, I don't see like whatever it is they have on the outside. You know, I just want to know what they have on the inside. And if it's bad, then it's bad, you know. But if it's good, then why should I care what other people think?
Yeah.
You know? And then this also takes me back to my girlfriend, you know. You ever seen Breakfast Club?
No. Is that a show?
It's a movie.
A show?
Or a movie? Yeah, it's a movie in the 80s, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I watched it with her for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and it really spoke to me because it was like, it's basically they take all types of kids from different cliques. You know, they take a jock, they take a pretty girl, they take a criminal, kind of like a bad boy, you know.
Yeah.
They take a nerd and they take a goth, and they get stuck in a room in the library for detention, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously they're so different, and then they find out all these similarities they have about each other in the end, and they all become friends.
Yeah.
And it kind of just reminds me of that, you know, because I've never wanted to look at people as whatever they have in front, you know.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I don't think I'm homophobic. I don't think I'm racist. I don't think I'm transphobic or anything, you know. I know I can say some outlandish shit every now and then, but you know.
Yeah. Like we all do, yeah.
We all do, you know. But, like, really it's because I don't see... That's why I get, like... Even if it's, like... The whole pronoun thing is new to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't have that growing up, you know.
It's not. It's fucking bullshit, bro. I didn't have it when... We never heard that shit when we were in 3rd grade, 1st grade, all the way up 8th grade, freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, maybe even. We didn't hear none of that. So the fact that it just came out of nowhere, or it's just people are talking about that kind of stuff, it's like, what? Like, it's just quarantine that started it all. To be honest,
You think so?
I feel like the government did something. They're just trying to screw us over, and it's weird because it's like, why? Like, why do they want so much power, fame, money over us? Like, for what reasons? Like, they already have it in general. They already have so much stuff over us. Like, they could literally do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I don't know if it's greed or who knows what it is, but like, I don't know. Something's going on. Something's going wrong in the government. That's all I know.
I think so.
Something's always been fishy to me about the United States. Just like why is there like a pyramid on the back of the dollar with the eye? Like, what's the whole point behind that?
I don't even know.
You couldn't just put like an eagle, or like something that represents
like a pine tree or something.
Yeah, even just a tree, as simple as that. It's just like, why are there so many like word symbols or like, I don't know. It's just so weird. Or like just like all the random conspiracy theories, just everything like that, or like I don't know. Or like I heard about like, or just like the JFK like conspiracy theories too, like how they said that he got shot from the front, or like someone in the car shot him, or like something like that. But I don't know, it makes you think like it's almost if like the government wanted to kill him because he was a good, or I don't know how much of a good president he is, but like I would say that's why they wanted to kill him.
I saw a meme about that today too. It was like I don't know if it's Robert Kennedy. You know who Robert Kennedy is? He was JFK's brother.
Maybe I've seen the picture.
I don't think you know about it, but okay.
Yeah.
So it was JFK. He ran for president. He was president from like 1961 to like 9. Could be wrong, but I know he's assassinated in September of '63 or September or November '63 in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
And then his brother Robert Kennedy ran for president too, and I don't know if he got elected or not, but he got assassinated too.
Dang.
But they called him the rockstar president because he would hold his his campaigns in crowds of people.
Yeah.
And he'd walk out in the crowd and shake hands and hug and everything like that. And that's what got him messed up in the long run.
Mm.
He got shanked up or he got shot and he ran into a hotel and he died in the arms of a little Chicano boy.
Dang.
And I remember I learned this in history class and that great Chicano boy grew up. And but anyway, but I guess I don't know. It's Robert Kennedy Jr. or whatever, his son, who's running for president. And I saw a meme, and it was the SpongeBob character. He's like, "How many times we have to teach you this lesson, old man?" And it was like the CIA.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I guess JFK was trying to do something with like the budget.
Yeah.
He was trying to like change the budget from like the military and the police and stuff like that. And people speculate that's the reason why he got killed.
Yeah.
And then I think Abraham Lincoln was trying to do the same thing after the whole Emancipation Proclamation thing. He's trying to lower things. And he got killed too, obviously. So definitely, I think the government's not. I think the government's shady, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think much about it because.
Well, just even in school too, like they just teach the most dumbest shit ever.
They do. And now that I'm out, I think about that a lot. Because how does that benefit us at all?
That's why, dude, I cheated my whole way through high school, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I not one test in high school that I never studied once.
Me neither.
Like never. Not for ROTC, not for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Not for nothing. I cheated on every single thing, no matter how I could. If it was using my watch to my advantage, taking a picture of the cheat sheet before, or going up to the teacher's desk and asking for a question, even though I know the cheat sheet's right there and I have my camera ready and I click it.
Yeah, I remember you used to do that.
Dude, each high school year just keep getting better at it. And senior year is probably the easiest year, but it was
breeze through that shit,
dude. Then again, my math class is really hard. There was a couple people in that class that helped me out. I definitely could have passed it without them. So shout out to you guys. But
yeah, no, because like
bullshit.
it is. They don't teach you like much, and I think about that a lot. You know what I mean? Because it was like, once again back in the 50s and 60s. Have you seen like those old like PE videos of what they had to do for PE? They would like rope climb and they'd rock climb and they'd run obstacle courses.
Yeah. Or like they would climb those ropes and ring the bell. And
yeah,
stuff
like they were like, and I think about why they had that. You know, it's because they were training them for war.
You think so?
Yeah, because during like the Cold War, all the way to the end, from the end of World War II up until like 1991, when the Communist Party fell, when the USSR fell. I think they were just preparing for war. You know. Because obviously that's what was going on at the time. You know? At any moment, either country could invade. And it never happened, but I think they were preparing that generation of kids for war.
Yeah.
Because... And that's why I think, like, same thing, like, for us, like, I mean, what do we got to worry about, Yeah. That's why I remember I asked Mr. Fulton one time, like... I think I asked Mr. Fulton and Mr... I already forgot his name. I feel bad. He was a history teacher. He was writing...
Schaefer?
No, the other one. I don't think you had him.
Romer?
You had Turpin, and he was the other guy. He was one with all the fun games and
Bowles?
stuff. He's a history teacher. I forgot his name already, but I really liked him.
Oh, did he leave eventually?
I don't think he left yet. But I forgot his name. I feel bad. I'm sorry, but he was a really good teacher. But I asked both of them, because I know they were really big on like history and stuff. I was like, how did you feel when the USSR fell? Because that was like something that they were always worried about. It'd be like, no, I don't even know how to compare it because it's nothing that we experienced. They live with that fear of communism, and we don't gotta live with that no more.
Mm.
So I think I don't know, maybe that's just the reason why our generation is not necessarily softer, but like a little more relaxed, a little more culturally pushed, which is a good thing, because like think about like ads nowadays, like you see like all those groups of friends hanging out and like taking pictures with smartphones and stuff like that. That's beautiful. That's life, even though it's fake and it's scripted. I think that's life, but I think we're pushing towards a different kind of way of being, definitely, and that's why people are open about like pronouns and stuff like that because they're trying to find happiness. When you don't have anything else to worry about, the only thing you worry about is happiness.
They also have nothing to. I don't know. I feel like those type of people aren't really involved in much.
What you mean?
Just like they don't really have a life. That's why they have to stick up for something that's so stupid. Like, oh, like you don't believe in pronouns and blah blah blah. They start whacking on. They just like jibber jabbing in your ear about just about that one thing. And after that, it's like they just go back to their job at freaking Chipotle or something. Yeah, and then they go freaking smoke their pen in the back, and then they go back inside, and then they go home, and then they do shrooms, and then they go to bed, and then wake up the next day and do it all over again. Yeah. And they run into someone else to argue with again or something like that. But
and that comes with that thing, that conflicting. We have no conflict. We have nothing to worry about. We literally live in a first world country. You know what I mean? It's like I think about it, like, could you imagine living in a different country?
I mean, I could, but I wouldn't want to.
No, like being raised and born into like.
Oh yeah. That'd be
Mexico.
Yeah.
Like how different it would be. And I don't mean like because Mexico still has some good parts. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's Mexico City, there's capitals. Because I've been to Mexico. And I've seen it. It's like it's a lot similar, very different, very similar. But like I mean like genuine third world countries like Africa or like. El Salvador, which isn't necessarily third world, but still like very different countries in the
US.
Like
Pakistan or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like imagine like the things that we take for granted, the things that they gotta live with. That's why like during like the Iraq War and shit, when we invaded,
yeah.
We didn't go over there to fucking justify anything, and it was like those kids they literally suicide bombed themselves, because they had something to fight for.
Yeah.
And what do our kids got to fight for? Nothing.
Not much.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Which but I will disagree with you on that. That pronoun thing. I think it is necessary, but I get where you're coming from with that because like some people would choose any hill to die on.
Yeah.
Which is dumb. I feel like there's so many things you could be worried about.
Well, it just gives something to believe in themselves. Like it's like me basically saying I'm Chicano, and people would be like, "Oh, how come you're saying you're Chicano if you're Mexican?" It's like the same shit, but it's just I'm just saying it different. Chicano to me means I'm basically it's basically like saying Mexican American. It's just another word of saying Mexican American to me, to be honest. But I have more pride because it has a lot of history behind it. Definitely. Like Chicano Power Movement, or like just the word Chicano. There's probably a couple like head or people that come into your head. But it's a really powerful like name in general.
The title.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've always noticed that people stand by titles, And it's like I bring this analogy. I think I brought this analogy before, but it was like if you go to a football game, and it doesn't matter or like a high school football game, Yeah. Remember when they had to have police there for the whole Central and Northridge thing?
Oh yeah.
Normally they let the fans storm the field after the game, and they didn't let it do that time because they think they're gonna clash or something.
She would have started World War III right there.
You see, and why? It's just a school.
It's just some petty shit.
But it's petty, and people pick titles, and it's very human, It's like
I miss those days. Sorry, I'm interrupting, but those were fun.
Those days were fun. Yeah, but it's just people pick titles, and that's just how humans are, Like people will always find things to like associate themselves with and kind of separate themselves instead of coming together. It's just human nature,
Another thing I want to talk about, I'm just really realizing this now that I'm thinking about it, but like for example, we just talked about the football games. Like I remember when we were in high school, or I remember listening to my parents and they would just be talking about high school, or my aunts or my uncles, and they're like, I miss going to the football games. Those were so fun. And then when we were there living that moment, at a football game, we weren't thinking about it. We were just like, oh, whatever. Football but then now we look back and we're like, damn, those were some good times. And then shit, what was I trying to get at? Basically Um, damn, I already forgot, bro. But
Living in the moment.
kind of, but shout out to my dad. He said I'm like Dory on the podcast. Damn it. Yeah, I guess kind of living in the moment, but like.
Taking it for granted, or
So we were talking about the football games.
football games.
And then what were we talking about after that?
I was talking about people would choose sides.
I can't really remember, bro. This happened to me the last podcast. Too. Like, if I don't say it as soon as it comes out, but it's all good. But yeah, I don't know. Just like taking it for granted and just being like damn, like it's all gone. Like, you can't get it back.
No.
Oh, yeah, I got it now. But just like, when you, like, I don't know, like, when I think about my parents, I guess this happens to every, like, person as soon as they graduate. Like, you get, like, either people are going to college, or people getting a job, new jobs, or just staying at their normal job. But I don't know. I feel like people nowadays. I feel like our generation, like our year, like I would say, like ages, like maybe even the year graduating this year, like ages like 17, 18, 19, and like 20, 21, 22, 23, like somewhere in there, like all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like all of us are having to like really work against the system a lot. Because we have to everything's expensive nowadays. First of all, like a car nowadays is like expensive as hell.
Shit.
Even like a 2023 is like what, like $50,000, $60,000, depending on what kind of car you're getting. Maybe 40 at the least, depending on what like model or whatever like brand it is or whatever. But like I feel like we're really having to work against the system, whether it's like getting a job, like me, I'm going to work somewhere that pays pretty decent instead of just working somewhere where I could get by, but I'm willing to go work somewhere where I can make a decent amount of money for myself. And the only reason I have to do that is because I know I have a lot of things that I want to work on, so I can't just work somewhere where I could be chill and just like, oh, whatever, So it's like I'm investing myself into doing something to, I guess, benefit me to make more money, but like to invest the money into things that are gonna last. Like, for example, I told you I wanted to buy like podcast equipment because that'll upgrade the quality of everything, and I can start posting like on TikTok and everything like that. But I don't know. I guess just there's a lot of things that we have to do to like
to get by.
Yeah, to get by.
And that goes something you said. It's like I saw like there's a study. I don't know if it was a study or survey, some one of the two. Yeah. And then it was like either 54 or 56% of Americans now say their college degree is not worth it.
54?
54, 56.
Yeah, it's really not.
I mean, I don't know. I can't speak on it,
Like, even my brother today, he's like, I don't even want to go to college anymore. I just want to go freaking be a welder or something like that. But that's so weird, though. Like, nowadays, people don't even want to follow their dreams. And it's like, it almost seems like, to me nowadays, like, following your dreams could almost seem irrelevant. Because there's so many different types of people nowadays. Like, you go on TikTok, and you could literally find maybe, like, for example, like, how many artists there are nowadays that make music? Yeah. Like, there could be someone on SoundCloud who's famous, like, let's say, I don't know, there's just too many, like, freaking rappers out there, bro. Like, rappers, or just artists in general. Like, there's just so many, like, it just makes you wonder how far you could go, or, like, how much of an impact you can make. Or, like, Michael Jackson, everybody knows Michael Jackson, and it's, like, I mean, he's, like, one of the biggest icons ever, but, like, it just makes you seem like, what does it take to, like, get there? Because, like, it almost seems as if he didn't do much because he kind of like leashed off of his success as a kid that his dad like basically like brainwashed him into. If you think about it, yeah. So he kind of got it. That story.
He had a kid, tried to make him famous, didn't work. Had another kid, tried to make him famous, didn't work. Had another kid, the Jackson 5, you know? And he's like Tito, and I don't even remember them.
All their names, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of messed up, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted the kids to be famous no matter what. And I guess that's where we learn to dance and entertain and all that.
Yeah.
But no, that dream thing, I mean, I honestly thought this would be the generation to chase most of the dreams, Yeah. I mean, but a lot of people have. I mean, look at TikTok influencers.
I feel like TikTok kind of, what's another word for, I don't know if you'd say dilute.
Dilute? What you mean?
Like, break it, like they, like, how do I say it?
You think like, wait, are you saying TikTok's harmful or TikTok's helpful?
No, they like broke it down. Like they broke down like what it means to be like unique or
Dissected
like,
it,
or
kind of like washed it down. What do
there you
mean?
go. They washed it down like what it means to be, not what it means to be, but just like how easy it is to like put in hard work. Cause think about it. In the '90s, you were like passing out CDs, CDs. And then on TikTok, you post something and boom, it gets 10,000 views, and then like maybe 25% of those people go listen to it, and now you got like an extra like 1,000 streams on your song, and that goes a long way if you're like a little artist. So, it just seems really washed down, just like the way
it's very easy.
Someone could just view your story or view one of your reels on Instagram or TikTok, but they don't gotta like it. And that's another thing too, is how people will
view your stuff and not like it.
Well, like for example, if there's a song that has 1 million streams, but then again it's all over TikTok, like it could either be perceived as it being a good song or just a song that's out at the time, and everyone's like, "Oh, this song's like it's like if it's popping, everyone's gonna go listen to it, just to see if it's good or not." So that in general, you gotta put in a ratio of like the ratio to like who's listening to it because they're interested in what it sounds like, or the people who like have already been listening to them and like they're just saying what like Drake, for example. Like I don't listen to Drake, for example, but like if let's say if he put a song out with NF, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go listen to it, even though I don't listen to Drake. I would go listen to it, you know.
Yeah.
But then there's also people who don't know NF, and that puts them in the same spectrum too with the Drake and NF, and they're like, oh, who's NF? So it's kind of just like I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is like everything is just washed down to the point where it's like it's hard to, or it's just really easy to like
try.
It's easy to try, yes, but it's also easy to like blow up nowadays. Which I feel like, because like there's a lot of YouTube channels out there with 100,000. Like there's probably some gaming channel out there that I don't even know about. That's like some kid in like India who's like streaming, has 100,000 like subscribers or whatever, but like I'll never know him. Or like I could have 1 million subs and someone across the world, or maybe someone in Greeley would never know me.
Yeah, yeah.
And not that I'm trying to say like I need to be like the most popular person in the world, but it just shows you how like how weird life is, because like everyone's life individually has its own impact in some certain way, whether it's someone you run into at the store or just some kind of, I would say just all interactment, I feel like. Or interact, that's a word? Interaction, yeah. Like me and you right now, like someday we'll look back on these videos and the podcast and like or someone watching this too could like get
an insight.
Yeah. Or feel impacted by the podcast or something, or the episode in general, or whatever we're talking about. But and even dating nowadays is pretty weird too. Just like dating culture.
Where the hell did we get this from?
Sorry, but I just gotta talk about this. It's been a minute. Look, I haven't talked about dating stuff on my podcast for a minute. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I haven't. None of my episodes have been about dating. Not that I think. The last time I talked about it was when it was me, Isaac, and my friend Taylor. Other than that, I think it's been like 3 episodes. Yeah. Or maybe 4, which doesn't seem like a lot, but like if we're talking videos, like how many videos I've put out, like in general, then it's been a lot. But I'm trying to stay away from it. But,
dating? Or...
Well, yeah, that too.
Well, okay, so what? Talk about it.
I don't know. I don't know, like I keep asking myself the question, like, is it worth dating before the ages of 25? And I say yes, because the experience is everything. Because if you're one of those people who doesn't date, like, you know, there's some like guys out there who like never date, like, at all. They don't know. They're not like, they're scared. They're afraid to talk to girls, for example. Like, they're just like, they've never been in a relationship before. And like, don't get me wrong, there's girls out there like that too. But like, my best advice to them would be like, go date someone. I mean, like, do your best in every relationship that you're in, you know, like, go, like just 100%, you know, that's what it's all about. And if it doesn't work, well, then, shit, like, that's a good, like, starting.
It's a lesson, you know?
It's a lesson, yeah. But, I don't know, it's just, sometimes I don't think it's worth it. I feel like sometimes I get in my head, like, yeah, like, I could be in a relationship right now, and then I think about it, because, like, the way relationships work nowadays is you wake up in the morning, and then you send a good morning text, and you get ready, and then you gotta wait till they get up, or they're waiting for you to get up, and then like you go to work, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And like, "I'm on my way to work." You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's just really repetitive.
Really
Like,
simple.
even if you live, because I know, like even if people live in the same city, it's still the same thing. Because like you have to make, I don't know. It's just a long process. Like you have to be really committed nowadays. Because you're on your phone. It's like, what do they call it? It's like a stimulant. I think that's the word.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like constant like texting. And back in the day, like when my mom or like when our parents were younger, like they'd have to call each other on the phone, and at an appropriate time. For example, like let's say like my mom got off of work, and then my dad would call my mom and like say like how's work or whatever, blah blah blah, good night. But nowadays you can text them the whole day and you know what they're doing, like
every second,
or eventually know their routine, like what time they get up, or like what time they usually leave for work, or what time they get home from work, or like what time whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just really watered down. Everything's getting watered down nowadays. Literally, the music industry's getting watered down. Nothing's really unique nowadays. Like, it's just like I don't know. Like I heard NF's album, and it's just like it was good, but it just didn't really sound like not much. Like even though it took him that much, or even though it took him that amount of time to like put just this out. Like, not that it could have sounded better, but it just like I feel like just the amount of music that I've listened to like since he's dropped it's kind of watered down my music taste in general a little bit. Yeah, oh, yeah, kind of like that, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess how do you feel about like dating in the early?
I feel
age?
At an early age, I think.
But like to a really serious point, not just like experience, because like. We've already dated in high school before, so we've already gone through trial and error, and now we're like serious about it. Like to be like, well, like our parents had us around this age almost, like 19, 18.
Legit, like
so
2 more
it's
years
like holy shit, like you never know what can happen, you know. Like next, you know, freaking baby Tyrone or
baby Ivan,
my
mom tells me that. My mom tells me that she's like you didn't get married, and I was like, I don't know, I got 2 more years until I have to start thinking about it. She's like, what you mean? Like you got married at 21?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, but don't make the same mistakes I did. And I was like, nah. But me, I think dating in high school should be trial and error. You know, if you find your high school sweetheart, good for you. I don't believe in that shit though. You know, because like
I think it's a hit or a miss.
Hit or miss. You know, what I mean, your brother and stuff. You know, what I mean? And not to say much on it. You know, but no, I think honestly you should take the chance. You know, I mean, you're gonna get hurt and you're gonna hurt people. I think it's better to get the hurting out of the way. Yeah. You know, so by the time you get to a good age. It's you're ready. You know what I mean? I mean, I've always had a mature mind to think, a mature way of thinking in relationships. I was never really in a relationship to mess around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think out of the few relationships I've been in, I've always wanted to be very serious about it. You know, I could never do it just casually because this is a person that I bring around my friends. I bring around most of my friends. I don't really want to bring around my family, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, it's something I really genuinely care about. I feel like, yes, it can be very watered down, you know, but it's up to you to like make it what it is. Like I have a coworker, his name is Jaime, and he's 21 and he's already married. He already has a kid and all that. And he tells me, he's all like, I was like, how do you do it, you know? And he's all like, with women, you gotta do something different every day, you know?
Yeah.
And he's all like one day I'll bring her flowers, or like I'll pick her something up from the gas station, and just like do something that she won't expect, you know? That way you keep it fresh. And like I've already made up my mind, if I were to get to the point in a relationship like that where we're living together and stuff like that, I'm not texting her all day. I've already told myself, you know, I can focus on work.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, because even like Saul's mom, she told me one time, she's like they work together at JBS, you know? Saul's parents.
Oh, okay.
And same department. I don't think it's the same department. I don't even remember. But
they probably run into each other.
Yeah. And they like it like that.
Yeah.
You know, so that way they don't see each other all day. They don't talk to each other all day. That way when they hit the bed, they can talk about everything. Yeah. You know? And I like that, you know? Because as much as, like, I'd love to talk to this person forever, eventually when it gets to that point when you're with that person and you've dedicated yourself to that person, I think you got to worry about, you know, knowing what you're doing all day. I think it's up to the person, you know? If you want a serious relationship, and you got to work for it, you know, you got to be able to put up with the distance and you know, giving each other space.
Yeah.
Because, you know, at some point you're going to hit that bed together, and you know you need to talk, you know, or you can just go to bed or have sex and just like brush it all off, you know.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want that, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't think that's all it should be, you know. Because I don't know, I see a lot of relationships, people our age, you know, they're just it's just sex, you know. It's just hookup after hookup after hookup, and that's cool, you know. I mean, it's fun, but like, where is that gonna land you? You know, I just think longevity a lot. You know, I have a horrible fear of death or just oblivion, and existentialism. You know, just I used to get like panic attacks when I was like young because I'd remind myself like one day I'm gonna die. You know, one day I'm just gonna cease to exist and I'm gonna rot in a fucking box for the rest of eternity.
Yeah.
And I just got to do something that's worth like doing. And for a long time, that was for me music, media, expressing myself and getting my name out there. And when I started dating this girl and I met her family, you know, I realized that's the kind of impact I want to have. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have to reach the masses. Maybe I don't need everybody to know my name. Maybe I just need to have a good impact on one person, or the people around me at least. You know.
Yeah, I would say, I feel like just memories in general are like a big part, because like those are things you can always look back on, but when you're living them in the moment, you don't really like think about it. Sometimes I'll just be sitting and just like thinking like, damn, like life's not too bad right now. Like in this moment, life's not bad. Like there's a lot of shit I need to take care of right now, but like in this exact moment, like right now, like we're chilling. Like maybe we might have work tomorrow, but like right now, like we're chilling right now.
And I fuck with that, you know, because it's just genuinely like that. How do I say? I just had it. No, yeah, like in this moment, like life is good. You know what I mean? And like that what I told you at Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Shouts at Dairy Queen. Not sponsored. But you know, like when high school ended, I wasn't really sad about it. You know.
Yeah.
I was just ready for the next chapter in my life. So now, it's like memories. Yes, they're beautiful, but I'm glad that it happened. You know.
Yeah.
Like don't be sad it's over. Be happy it happened. Type stuff.
Okay.
And that's how I feel about everything. You know, as much as I don't get to hang out with my friends anymore. You know.
Yeah.
As much as I used to now, my weekends I just work out and talk on the phone with my girlfriend and watch movies with her, and that's fine with me. You know, that's the kind of life I'm comfortable with. You know, I'm comfortable just dedicating myself to working all week, and then resting the weekend and then doing it all over again. You know, that's not what I want for the rest of my life. But for right now, obviously, you know, I already told you, you know, the plans that I've got with her, and if you know, she was really sad that I didn't do much for my birthday, and she was upset that she wasn't able to be there, and she was upset today that I didn't do much for Easter, you know, and I was like, the same thing with Valentine's Day, you know, and all that, and I was like, it's just 1 year, you know, it's like, I would miss, like, if it's a whole year of missing things, it's fine, you know, it's just 1 year of absences. To get everything that you're asking for, it's like, how much would you put up, you know? Like, how much would you be willing to set aside? It's like, you know, when you sent me that text on New Year's, you know, I was fucking working on New Year's, bro. I was like, the ball dropped while I was out there in the cold, you know, in the snow. And you know, and it moved me, you know, that text because, you know, 2023 is going to be our year, you know, and I said, yes, but I got one priority above that. Yeah. And I'm serious, when things get simple between her and I, that's when the music kicks in, bro. Because that's when I'll have not much more to worry about, you know. Yeah. And that's just, it's like patience, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like,
take it, be slow and steady. Just like stay consistent, making sure you're just following your blueprint. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing we all need is a blueprint. If you don't have one, you're not gonna get anywhere in life. It's just like,
if I can interrupt you with that,
you're good.
People like at the concert we did, remember?
Yeah.
Garrett asked me, he's like, yo, is the oil field worth it? And I was like, and I tell this to a lot of people who ask me this. I was like, if you don't have a plan, it's not. Yeah. You know, if you don't got a kid on the way, if you don't have a future plan for yourself, I don't see why you would torture yourself for 12 hours a day. Yeah. You know, and just for the money, you know, it's not worth it, you know. It's not worth it. You could do so much more with your life. Yeah. You know, even if it is just living and going about your day, you know. But if you don't have a plan, you know, if you don't have a goal, if you're just doing it for the money, you're gonna tire yourself out because you're just running off of you know, piss and vinegar at that point. You know? You're just trying to be chingon and shit. You know, like, it's not worth it. So I think they definitely what you're saying, the blueprint. If
Yeah.
you don't have a plan,
Well, that's how I am right now. I'm just trying to just bust my ass right now. That's what I tell myself. I'm like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what the job is. I would say the one I'm going into now will be pretty simple. But just working my ass off just to just get money to be able to get stuff, really. Because I've been doing everything on my phone for the past, like, what, 3 years now? And, like,
yes, it's like 2020.
like 3 years, so. And it's been going pretty good, but I can just see myself, like, what different steps and heights I'll be able to reach to. With all the, because equipment does make a difference, You get a new car, you go faster. If you get it's just
the way it works.
the more you spend, not necessarily the more, but if you do think about it, the more you spend, the better things get for you. I would say, like anything, like
It's like Mac Miller said on one of his songs is I think it's called Rush Hour.
Yeah.
He's all like, I started making money in 11th grade. Soon as I learned that the more you make, the less you wait, or something like that. Got a bigger crib, always use the extra space, something like that. Just like the more you do, the less you wait.
Yeah.
The more you do, the less you wait.
Yeah.
And that's my mentality when it comes to this. It's like working. It's like working this job that I'm working. It's like it ain't easy.
Yeah.
But it ain't hard either.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely tough. But the more I do, the less I have to wait.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to set aside a year, half a year, 6 to 8 months of
Dude, we're actually doing it right. Like,
you think so?
for real, because there's a podcast I watched, the Journey podcast, and the way we're talking right now is the way that they're talking now, but they're 26, and we're only like 8. Well, you just turned 19, but we're 19. Or I'm 18 going on 19. But what I'm trying to say is, like, we have so much time, like, in our hands. Like, if you're talking, like, I always tell myself, like, I want to make sure I have, like, at least, like, all the equipment I have that I need to, like reach as far as I need to, like, with this, whether it's music, podcasting, or videos, as far as I can. By age 25, I still want to have all my friends around me, all the ones that I've that I have now and that I love and care about. All my family members. I hope that all of them are still living in the same area, everything like that. I eventually want to move out by that age too. Of course, I will. I mean, I don't really know when I'm gonna move out. I'm sure it's hard to tell. When you're like still young. Because you don't know what your like financial situation could be, or if you get a girlfriend, you don't know if like they're gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
But that's another thing too, is I want to make sure I at least have someone by age 25
by your side.
too.
Yeah. Because I've always had that mentality. Like I told my girlfriend this too. It's like I love everyone that's around me.
Yeah.
But I think in life you really that's why they call it a partner. You really only need one person.
Yeah.
But you gotta make sure it's the right person. What I mean? Don't go picking someone that's gonna screw you out of your money or like pick out of your pockets and stuff like that. Get someone who's gonna be there for you and genuinely support you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like someone who's gonna be there for the grind, who's gonna be there for if you're broke or if you're rich. Someone who's really gonna back you up like that. Because it's like, motivation. It's crucial. You know what I mean? I mean, you get up and you do these videos. Why?
Yeah.
Because you want to. It's not just because you want to make it, but it's just because you love it.
Yeah.
But something pushes you. And imagine if you had a person with that same aspiration who's just like, bro, you got to keep going. Like, I really like this, Like, I have this,
Dude, that would be...
Like, imagine.
That'd be cool.
Like, imagine you. Like you're 25, right? You're living with your girl or whatever. And, like, she's like, y'all just chilling on a regular day. And she's all like, so what are you going to record today? Like,
dude.
That shit got you cheesing, huh?
See, that'd be so sick, dude. And that's what I'm talking about, like... I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
It's just like...
She got you turning red, huh?
That'd be sick,
Imagine that, bro.
That'd be sick.
Like, bro, she's chilling there. She's got, like...
Yeah.
Videos
or even
and
just...
everything, and she's like, she rubs your chest. And she's all like, so what you gonna record today, And you're like, shit. Yo, like, damn.
I thought about something like that before. Just, like... or just even living with a bunch in that apartment, just like my friends, you know, just even that too, just people around you that like doing the same thing that you do, or just see the same vision that you have. Like you and Nick are two people I know who definitely see what direction I want to move in, or like just all of us together. Like I want to get Nick into this shit too, you know. I don't want him to be
just living a slow life.
yeah, like how we all do, you know. Like I feel like we see people like that every day who just look like they've been being to the just being to the core, just like working every day and just saving up their bank account for retirement so they can just sit at home every day and freaking
not do nothing. Say you didn't
do
do
nothing.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, if we do something like this, if we do podcasting, music, even if we're 60 years old, 50 years old, we'll still be able to podcast or make music or at least joke around it, or even if we make, I don't know. But podcasting, I really do like a lot because you can bring whoever on, literally whoever.
Yeah,
I can bring my grandpa on, and one of his friends, or one of my dad and his friends, or like your dad and us three could talk together. Like, you know, you could literally bring anything on. That's what's good about a podcast. So if you want to do a podcast, no matter who's watching, a girl, a guy, it doesn't matter the age. It could be anyone. Anyone who's watching, even if you're older than me, it doesn't matter. Like, if you want to come on here and just talk about whatever, like, shit, come. I mean,
that's what I mean, because like you can find such. I think about it so much, like generation, is it X? I don't know, the one that was born like the 90s kids and shit. You know, the ones that are like 30.
Oh, like millennials.
Millennials are like our parents.
We're Gen Z.
We're Gen Z.
I want to say Gen Z is like 1990 to like 1999 to like 2011.
11
or 10.
No, 2008. No,
I think it's 10.
10.
Because I remember me telling myself Isaiah is also Gen Z. Yeah.
Yeah, but like those people, like I can relate to them. Like my old coworker, Libby, she was all like, because she's a lot like us. You know what I mean? Like those people, like Cole and them, you know, they're a lot like us. They're still kids, kind of. Not necessarily kids.
Wait, from Romas or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, like the 90s babies, you know what I mean? Because they grew up with kind of like, they grew up at the turn of the century and they had the media and stuff. Media was becoming a very big influence in American culture, late 90s to like early 2000s, you know? Yeah. I mean, you had like, movies were blowing up, you know, digital music was blowing up, and those are things that are still relevant to this day, you know. Obviously, you know, you love movies and stuff, you know, you be watching them every weekend. You watch 3 movies every weekend, you know. But I feel like they had the same thing, you know. So I can definitely find myself relating to like those kind of people, you know. I think there's just a lot more. There's a spider right there. I'm watching it move.
We'll let him live.
We'll let him live. That reminds me of in freshman year when you would like snipe bees out of the air with like like milk cartons and stuff.
I forgot how I used to kill them.
I think it was you either swat them barehanded or with like a milk carton.
Well, I would smack them with my hand and then I would stomp on them.
Yeah, you were crazy.
They were wasps. They were not bees.
They were wasps. Sorry, B. Benson. But nah, that shit.
I'll never kill a bee.
That freaked me out, low key, bro. When you would do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I was terrified of wasps.
I see my grandpa do it a lot, so. Anyways.
Yeah, no, that terrified me, bro. Because you were just you'd be eating your lunch, you look at it and then stomp the shit out of it.
I tried killing one this weekend actually on the soccer field, but he got away before I stomped on it.
No, bro, I can't. I could never do that, bro. I'm scared of wasps, bro.
Yeah.
I'll mess with. I watched my cousin get jumped by wasps. So yeah, no.
They just lift them in there.
They just drop them off. So ever since then, I've been scared of wasps.
Yeah.
And I remember when I used to live in Stony Brook.
Yeah.
There was you know they had the mailboxes, you know. There were 3 of them, and there was this one abandoned mailbox that nobody opened. And for some reason, my mom sent me to go get the mail, and I opened that mailbox, and there was a wasp nest in there, and they just came out and attacked me, and they stung me in the head, and I ran inside. And I just had like a fat ass lump right here, bro. I was terrified of wasps.
I remember at Stony Brook, a lot of the mailboxes would have bees. I remember ours used to. My dad used to have to like hit it with a stick and then like wait a couple minutes and then go hit it again or something. I'm pretty sure. If I have good memory, I'm pretty sure.
I set it on fire. Like WD-40, like you using WD-40, like the smell reminds me of burning wasps.
Really?
Because I would burn wasps with WD-40.
Oh shit.
Bro, I hate wasps so much. They don't do anything for the environment, bro.
They're pretty scary. Like their wings and
Have you
shit.
seen them like close up and stuff? Like,
yeah.
I hate wasps. How did we get on top of this? I don't even remember.
Oh, it's because I think you just talked about. I remember when you were like, I remember when you used to kill wasps.
Yeah, but no, it's crazy. It's just, but back on topics. Like I think life, you kind of have to have a plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like I mentioned this a lot, but like life doesn't stop you, and says, all right, life's about to get real. You know, it just all of a sudden just, you know what I mean? So, I feel like taking that, like taking risks and working harder jobs and making more money is the most responsible thing you can do. At least because money sets you up. You know what I mean? Money
It
will
does.
get you
It
places.
does. I feel like memories coming along. Oh, maybe not really, but like when you want to go places, if like literally go places, like physically, like go from like here to like LA, for example. Like it takes money to like buy a plane ticket, eat, or like live somewhere in the meantime, like for a hotel or whatever, you know. So I do
Definitely
agree
takes
with
money.
that.
You know, like going with me visiting my girlfriend. You know, it's like it's almost like depending on how much I like spend out there. You know, it could be like $1,000 to $2,000. You know.
Yeah.
Which isn't a problem. You know, not flexing, but you
Yeah.
know. But like I worked for that, so I can have the ability to do that. Otherwise, this wouldn't work at all.
Yeah.
Like when eventually, because even when I went down there, and I spoke with her dad a lot. You know, I was like, so what do you think about your daughter and I? And he was all like, well, it's like he's like it's not bad. You know what I mean? But this is a long distance relationship. You know, it's like eventually one of you two's gonna have to move together.
Yeah.
And he was right. You know, and then obviously the first time I went down there, and then with what happened with my car and stuff like that. You know, and I was only making like $1,400 every 2 weeks. You know, doing that remodeling thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know about that, but that's not enough money to move somebody.
Yeah.
And across the state, and it's not worth it. You know.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's when I realized that not only do I not have a car anymore, but I have something I'm willing to dedicate. I want to dedicate myself to. So what do? I have to move up. You know, I have to move up. And the oil field. My dad always told me about it. I just had no idea how much money, how it would be. Especially because it's just, it seems very scary at first, but once you get the groove of it, it's like, nah, it's not that bad. But the only thing that was, because I started off on the 24-hour rigs, I was working 7 days a week, 12 hour, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 5 p.m. to 5 a.m., depending on what shift you got.
Yeah.
And the money was good, because you got $100 per diem, but it was so draining, because it was just like, you worked, and you were supposed to get 7 days off every 2 weeks, but that never really happened because we didn't have enough people. And it was just week after week after week, and that's just so draining. Somebody's mentality, it's just like you feel like you're not worth anything, And then when I got switched over to the daylight rigs, which is only 12 hours, of operation, only while the sun's out, and I just feel like there's a lot more to do here, like for example, like that TikTok I posted when I'm up there with like the pipes and stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to do since I got into this job. It's like you have to climb. It's like 60 feet in the air, with like a ladder, and you just go up there, you tie yourself off, and you gotta latch these pipes. Either latch them or unlatch them. And to me, that's like climbing is just so much fun. I love heights for some reason. But like, I think, I talked about it the other night when we were here, as well, like, there was like that rapper, Seal Smooth or something like that. He's talking about, like, I'm 6 foot, that's like a long way to fall. And then I switched it, I was like, I'm 5'6", so why would I not like want to rise, Like, why would I not want to be up there, So like, heights to me just don't scare me, just because like I feel like I want to be high up. It's like a metaphor to me, the higher I get, the higher I can fall, and like the faster the death will be. I don't know, it's complicated, but it's like, would you rather fall from 4 feet and sprain your ankle, or fall from 400 feet and die? It's like once you get to a certain point, you got to keep climbing, otherwise there's no guarantee the fall will be the end. It's like, or like Kanye said, he's all like, shoot for the stars, so if you fall, you'll land on the clouds, or something like that. It's like, just for me, it's always about keep elevating yourself, because I don't like being stuck at some place, I don't like being stuck at the bottom, like only making $500 every 2 weeks, or $1,400 every 2 weeks, I have to constantly see some growth in me, otherwise I get upset. Like, I physically start feeling like I'm not doing enough. I don't know if you get that feeling too, but it's just, motivation is, you got to be motivated, you got to find something you want to do with this life, because it's literally 1 more month and we'll be a year out of high school, and then after that, you just can't keep going. Next year, you gotta, life just does not stop.
I think once I don't know. I think once, now that I'll be able to invest in some more things that I need to actually invest to, I think things will start looking a little bit more upright for me, I guess you could say. I don't know. like in the past couple of like the past month, I've been kind of not necessarily in a rut. I would say maybe a little bit of like a writer's block, a little bit, and that's only for music. Everything else comes really naturally, just because I've been making podcasts. Like this is easy to do, you know, just talk and then just post it, you know. But then music's like a song is like a whole like project in a way, whether it's like an hour project or a day project or just like a whole session that you're trying to finish a song. But I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I guess just like, yeah, like how you said, like you want to keep elevating. That's what I want to do. So,
because like there's gonna be people who don't elevate at all. People who just get stuck, and I don't blame them. You know, no, not everybody has the same drive as you and I, or as the other people have made it. You know.
Yeah.
So I won't ever put nobody down for not doing as much as, you know, myself or somebody else. You know.
Yeah.
Because.
Now here's another thing too is, I remember growing up in high school and like I started my channel and there's like there'd be other people who had YouTube channels and then like it'd be like a friend like how you did Rusty Boys in a way. And like the people, somebody will start a channel and it's like, all right, we got our first video, boom, and then they post it, and so then yeah, they post it, people watch it, it gets a good amount of views, you know, people in the local area will watch it or whatever, and then you know they'll post another one the next week. Oh, we put out our second video, go check it out now, link down below or whatever. Boom, they'll go watch that one, and then like 2 months, 3 months will go by, boom, they'll do another one, and then like 6 months will go by, and then they're like, hey guys, sorry, like I've just been busy recently, and then after that it's like 8 months, and then after that it's just like the channel doesn't, and then they look back and they're like, damn, we should have stayed consistent. And the only reason they go back and delete those old videos is because they know if they would have kept going,
how much more they could have done.
They could have been better at what they were when they started. And I know that for a fact because if I go back to our old vlogs when we went to Haley's house and I used to edit, then I'll have to show you this NF type edit that I did. I was recording Nick outside yesterday and I made the, you know, like the Outkast music video and stuff with the car, the way the blue sky looks like a green blue. I color graded it and it looks like a NF music video, literally. It's pretty crazy. I showed Isaac and he's like, oh shit, it looks pretty legit. I'll have to show you, but I literally edited that in maybe like 5 minutes, like literally max, and it just shows that like
how much improvement and stuff.
Yeah, and just on my phone too. Like there's so many like different softwares out there that I could be using, or cameras, or lenses, or mics, whatever. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there that can improve your anything really, whether you're an athlete, or just anything in general. But I never wanted to settle for less, and I think that's something everyone's kind of noticed about me. I get that a lot from everyone, and I really don't. And like every time, like at work, everyone's like when I left, a lot of people were telling me like, I see you like going far. I hope like this thing you're doing like goes far. Yeah, I'm like, trust me, it will. Like I'm not gonna stop until like I have it,
get what you want.
Because I have shit. I'll do this shit till I'm 50 until I have it. As long as I know someday I can be like. As long as I'll have that day where something pops, it's going to be like the best day of my life. Because I know I stay consistent for that long, whether it's 5 years, 4 years. There's people on my other job that be like, oh, you have a song about Greeley? Like, who gives a fuck about Greeley? I'm like, the reason this town is like that is because of people like you.
Yeah, like,
we're not united in any kind of way. The white people are united. The black people are united. We're united in friend groups, and we're all a little bit, I would say, a little bit stubborn and conceited in some ways, but that's not our fault because our phones did that to us a lot too, because we all feel like we need dopamine, and we always have to like be posting something all the time, or we feel like we need like just eyes watching us. And then like sometimes like I'll post something and I'm like, why did I post that? Like there's no really like backstory behind it. Like if I post something like it's your birthday, like that makes sense, you know, so other people can like be like, oh, it's Ivan's birthday today, let me go hit him up real quick, you know. But like if it's something like fucking, I don't know, let me see, like Izzy taking a shit, like for example, I don't know, I can't think of anything. Izzy's my dog, by the way, but like I don't know, like I have no reason behind that. Like maybe yeah, it's funny, but like something like that, for example, and that's irrelevant. I'm just like, there's no reason to that. So like, what was I saying before that? Kind of like, just that like I don't know.
Yeah.
People won't understand what I'm doing until like I get there.
Yeah.
And they're gonna think that's overnight success. And that's the
Mhm.
thing that people on that podcast, I was talking about the Journey podcast, they're saying that they've been working on the podcast for so long, and then that they've been blowing up on TikTok a little bit, and everyone that knows them say that's overnight success. Yes, it could, but it could have been like one video that popped
Yeah,
off.
that one thing that you did right, you know?
Exactly.
Like, it reminds me of NF when it was like on All I Have. That's the one of my all time favorite NF songs.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
all
good
like,
song.
it says like, but most of the time the artist you hear, you keep on thinking that artist is new, but the artist has probably been at it for years,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite lines, you know? But no, I definitely see that, you know? But like, I don't know, I definitely respect that, like the whole like in Colorado thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like I was gonna play that song in my car when
Yeah.
I brought my girlfriend here and we passed the Greeley sign on 34, you know?
Yeah.
Because I like that song. I think that is definitely like just genuinely Greeley's anthem. You know, even though it's like relatively unknown.
Yeah.
I think nobody really, even I didn't get it at first when you did it. You know, because I
Yeah.
don't understand why you represent Greeley so
Yeah.
much. You know, but maybe you have a different perception than most people.
Mhm.
And the more I listened to it, and the way I saw you perform it at the Moxie, it's when I finally got it. It's like, oh,
Dude, I could feel it. Like, what the hell? Like,
No.
when I was performing, I'm like, damn, like,
this shit
it's
genuinely
different.
sticks.
Yeah.
You know, it hits, bro. That shit, it's like, there's gotta be like a love, you know, because we don't live in a big city, you know.
Yeah.
We don't even live in.
It's getting pretty big, like, for a
Size-wise.
Colorado city, if you
Mhm.
think about it. It's probably one of the biggest cities in Colorado, if you think about
It's
it.
the capital of Will County, so you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, we don't live in New York. We don't
Mhm.
live in LA. We don't live in
Yeah.
Houston. We don't live in Dallas. We don't live in a city that has a name. You know,
Yeah.
really, it has no name. All they know is Cowtown.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're just Cowtown, bro. But
Oh, shit,
like,
sorry.
sorry, we don't have nothing going for us. You know, we have the Stampede, but that's irrelevant. You know,
Yeah.
not really irrelevant, but in media and like culture,
Oh, yeah.
it's irrelevant. There's no culture here. You know, I mean, there's cultures,
Mhm.
but there's no one thing about this place. You know, it's like for example, New York. Obviously, it's known for like hip hop and you know, big ass rats and stuff like
Yeah.
that. In LA, you know, like there's the big just you know the vibe of LA. You know, like
Yeah.
the clothes, the people, the food, you know, and then Houston, obviously. I bring up Houston because there's another these cities, or Chicago,
Yeah.
or Detroit, you know, they all got the things about them.
Yeah.
But Colorado, Denver isn't really known for nothing, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a mile high city. That's it. So I think what you do when eventually, if I ever get there, you know, it'd be like I want to bring a name to this, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be yet because I really don't know what Greeley's known for, you know.
I don't think it's necessarily like representing the city, but I think it's just looking back on everyone who lives here and
Mhm.
being like, we're here to represent where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to represent like, I guess the town itself, yes, kind of, but like more or less like the people who are like me, like,
Mm.
like for example Chicano, like that's like a G-Funk song, so in a way, so and G-Funk is kind of around Chicano culture too,
Mm.
and I'm Chicano too, so I mean you could technically call that like I guess like a Chicano like G-Funk track or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but when I wrote that song, I was just sitting in my room and like I didn't know what to write or anything, so I just got in my car. I had the instrumental, and I just took off and I just drove downtown, and I was like,
yeah.
and then da 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 da
Mm-hmm.
da 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 da, and then it just came. Cruising in G-Town, ain't that downtown, you know, we go around, and then I'm like, oh shit, dude, I probably have on my watch like the original recording of me just listening to it.
Yeah.
I could probably look for it low key. I have to like, I don't know.
Find
I
it.
have to like figure out what day it was, but
Nah,
I always like half of the songs I made are actually like recorded like me humming them or
Mhm.
whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to find it. I think that'd be pretty cool to listen to.
Mhm.
And also made it without summertime being a thing, so it was like mid transition between like maybe just one day that it wasn't snowing or something,
Mhm.
but.
I don't know. That's the thing. It's like because my girlfriend and I don't keep bringing her up, but it's just
No, that's good.
you know, it's just
It's
like
your life, so
yeah.
it's okay.
But
to
like
everybody.
she's like a big like West Coast hip hop fan,
Yeah.
you know, like West and Southwest. Like she likes like you know like do you know DJ Screw?
I've heard of him.
It's
yeah.
like he's like a big Houston thing, you know.
Yeah.
She likes SPM, DJ Screw, Zero, you know, and then West Coast artists always like Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, you know, and NWA.
Yeah.
And I'm the complete opposite. I really don't mess with G Funk like that. You
Yeah.
know, I'm more of East Coast. You know,
Yeah.
so for me, I'm like Biggie, Big L. You know, Nas, Tribe Called Quest, Wu Tang. You know, and then also Southeast too, like Memphis. You know, I like 3 6 Mafia. You know, Big E. I mean, Little E. What's it called? Blackout. You know, Flatliners, and just I'm a big East Coast fan. You know, so I was never really, and I think it's just cool because like she's very West Coast and I'm very East Coast. You know, and everything to me is just. That's why, like, my music, I strive more of that hip hop and boom bap type feel because I lean towards that sound a little more. Just 'cause it just appeals to me so much more. It's much more aggressive. It's much more just mean, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like you relate to those good vibes and summer vibes, you know. And I relate to those underground, like very serious, rough tones, you know. And I don't know. I like that duality, that yin yang thing, you know. Because I don't know. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This like, there's two different feels to hip hop, and I just happen to lean more to the East Coast side. I love it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just got West Coast inspiration from my dad, just listening to that music in the car, like just growing up like that. Probably just kind of like that kind of stuff. Because I never heard him talk about like Big Al or any of those kind of guys. Like Biggie, yeah, but like that's just because he was
so big.
He was around bigger guys too.
No.
But yeah, I think that's why I kind of resonate with that kind of sound.
Nah, definitely. But no, I mean, I don't even know. I wasn't really inspired by anything like that. I listened to Wu Tang in like my junior year, you know, and that's when it kind of started for me. And then I leaned more towards the East Coast, you know. Obviously, I knew of like Snoop, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, NWA, all that, but and it can move me, yeah, of course. I'm not saying it's bad. I like the East Coast more. I just there's something about the way it feels, you know, something.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And even weirdly enough, I was always like kind of like I always gravitated towards like black culture, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why. It just always like I grew up watching like Friday and stuff, you know, and like their sense of humor and just the way they talked and everything. Just it really moved me, you know.
Yeah.
To the point where like I don't know, just hip hop culture and just like it like genuine meaning of hip hop culture. It just moves me.
Yeah.
And it can be summed up in like three things. It's like it's culture and like just like how you are, how you present yourself. Nice clothes, you know, jewelry, cars, etc., etc. There's music, obviously, you know, because it's not just hip hop music. You know, there's R&B, there's soul, there's so much more to it than just what's on top.
Yeah.
And then there's humor. You know, there's a lot of humor in hip hop culture. I mean, you hear like there's punchlines in rap sometimes. Like even to nowadays, you know, there's funny shit in raps. You know, but like they be talking about like I don't know, just like there's humor and there's a lot of humor in it, and I feel like that's like the most easygoing way of being a person. You know, I think that hip hop culture is just the easiest way to be a person. It's just like to summarize it. You know, take care of yourself, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you are. You know, move yourself with like certain rhythm, you know, and be your own kind of person, and then be funny, you know. Just get along with your people and be the person that you want people to see every time. Like every time they think of you, make them think of the same person. Don't be two-faced. Don't be like this around some people and then like this around other people. You know, always be
transparent.
Exactly. And that's what I aspire to be. I don't know why, but that's the way I can summarize like the hip hop culture in general.
Yeah.
Because maybe I just haven't listened to enough, but I don't really see that in like Chicano rap, you know? Like the humor, you know? I think it's very serious.
Yeah, it is. Like rap, with rap, yeah, I would say, yeah.
You know? And then, but obviously there's like cumbias and like Santana, like those are vibes, you know what I mean? Like those are like something that you feel like. I remember when you showed me the Woodstock video, when we listened to it on the way to Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
And I just remember like seeing Santana just like fucking like, he's going crazy on that
one. Like spazzing out.
Yeah, man. And he's like closing his eyes and like leaning back, and it's like he's orgasming, you know what I mean? But like nah, cause like that. But I was like, that's just the way it is, you know. That's like Chicano culture, you know. It's so psychedelic and unreal and above, and there's that, and then there's that level of me, obviously, and there's the black culture, you know, where I took a lot of inspiration from, you know, I mean, growing up in the 2000s, it was like it was everywhere. I mean, Kanye was ruling everything. And then and just like the whole hip hop thing. 50 Cent, Bow Wow, Soldier Boy, and they were just all running the 90s. I mean, running the 2000s. And you know what I mean, like the big flashy clothes, the hats all like twisted up.
I think Chicano, or just Mexican in general, are like a big part of culture. Like right now, like in this day and age.
This day and age, definitely.
Like right now, like you see the Edgars all over the damn place, and not even just them, but like I feel like we do bring a lot of like inspiration to a lot of. I mean, I can't really think of anything right now, but I think Mexicans in general right now are like hitting a wave. I don't know. I feel like there's gonna be a big wave of like. I mean, I don't want to use him as an example, but Yeet. Because he's Mexican, isn't he?
I don't even know. I think he is. I don't like Yeet at all.
Me either. But I'm pretty sure he is. I'm not going to lie.
I think so.
I think he is.
I mean, he could be, I mean, Latino artists do come up and, it's like... Because it's the same thing everywhere,
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I mean, we've gotten to the point where we're everywhere, there's Mexicans and even close to, like, the northern border, Like, I have cousins in Chicago and stuff, which I think is weird. Like, why would you go all the way to Chicago, bro? You could have stopped, like, in one of these states.
Yeah.
But, and it's weird, just how our people are everywhere. And that's why I feel like people could come from any background and come from anywhere, And I just feel like that's why you should always, like, respect the individual in front of you, no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I agree. I feel like I could talk all night.
Yeah. It's just crazy. It's just the way life works,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild. What?
I don't know, I'm just thinking. It's a pretty good podcast. It's a good episode.
It's been pretty serious.
I want to talk about more stuff. Let's see. Well.
What are you thinking?
I wanted to cover more of like the trying to figure out how to say it. Like the dating before 25 thing.
Okay.
A little bit.
So, like, I guess going back to that, it was like I always wanted to experience like genuine love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I could never get into that casual thing. Like I always took relationships pretty seriously. And like I can never find a way to like not take it seriously. Like I can never just be casual. As nice as that would be, I don't know how to do it, because I always end up caring too much about the person. I feel if you want something serious, you have to be serious about yourself.
Yeah.
You have to know what you're doing and have a plan with your life. Otherwise, well, not necessarily, because you could be just like a roamer, you could just be working and not knowing what you want to do, but just be a genuine person. And when you find a person who wants to do something, doesn't know what it is quite yet either, I feel like you can still bond with that person.
Yeah.
But I feel like for me, with the technical and strategic and analytical mindset that I have, when I always have to have a plan, I always have to have a plan. I feel like my advice to people would be to get yourself figured out first. Get your whole phase out of the way. Get that out of the way, get that out of the door, because if that shit keeps coming up when you're in a relationship, eventually you're gonna snap,
Yeah.
And you're gonna revert to your old ways. And, realize that at 25, most people have already matured. Should have.
Yeah.
If not, you're looking at the wrong people. But I feel like you should definitely get yourself in check. Definitely before then, if you're not dating seriously, get yourself in check. At least worry about getting yourself in check. Get yourself a good job. Get yourself situated, at least in a comfortable situation where you could be self-dependent and not necessarily struggling, I think it all just depends on the person and how soon you are willing to commit to something greater. Because if you can't commit, then that's where it ends,
Well, I almost feel as if I need to find someone that's like as mature as I am. because I feel like through all these years, I feel like I've matured more and more, like,
Mhm.
each year. But don't get me wrong, I can, like, be, like, immature, like, when
Yeah,
I'm
that's no
joking,
problem,
but that's
you know?
just because
That's
that's
how you
me,
are.
like, when I'm
Mhm.
joking, you know? But, like, I feel like outside of that, I would say I'm a pretty mature person when it comes to, like, choices in life or just, like, certain things. But, like, with the amount of people that I've been with, which has been, like, not very many,
Mm-mm.
thank God, because, like, I was really critical with who
You
I
wanted to be
would
with.
talk to, date, or just things like that, you know? But, I don't know, I guess.
I feel like for you, I think you need to date older.
Older people?
Yeah.
I thought about that, but then I'm like, I guess I want to until I know, I guess.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't mean like way older. I mean like maybe like 21 or
Yeah.
like 22. You know, because like I feel like if you want that, you won't get that from a girl our age. I mean, maybe you will.
It'd be hard to find.
It's hit or miss. You know?
Because I don't think there's too many people out there that have a mature mindset like me and you do, at least.
Like most of the girls we went to middle school and like high school with, you know, I saw them on Snapchat and see what they're doing in college. You know what I mean? To each their own. To each their own, bro.
Dude, oh my god, bro! I can have a whole freaking podcast episode on this
No.
on itself, dude. It's
But-
just like, what are you doing? Like, and you know the excuses?
Huh.
Oh, they say you have to have fun in college, type shit, something like that.
Mm.
Like, don't get me wrong, yeah, sure, but like, you know,
Mhm.
there's certain ways I know me and you could go have fun. We'll freaking
Bro, we'll trash
launch
Walmart.
yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, I was like, we'll launch a freaking bottle of mayo across the grocery store. Or something.
But I'm not judging. You know what I mean? Everybody's got the thing. You
Oh,
know?
no, I'm judging.
Oh, yeah, I know, but not me, because I don't care, bro. Because I don't care. But like the thing is like those are the girls that we were around. You know, those are the
Yeah.
girls that we were, for lack of a better term, what was available. You know,
But
what I mean?
like available.
No,
but like,
it's fucked up.
No, I know, but
you know,
like, where does shit go south?
I don't think
for them.
that's always what it's been. That's always what it's been. It's just that's the way like our culture is. You know, what I mean, you gotta party, you gotta get drunk.
Yeah, but
you
how
gotta
come
ruin your
we
liver.
like never got in that loop?
Because I think we were meant for something.
That's true, but like,
You know, I think.
well, I think our morals too, because my morals are really a lot different than other people. I would say, I'd say probably a little more on the good side.
Yeah.
But I guess that does come from your parents as well, because I guess everyone kind of does reflect their parents in a way, because you're literally like a spitting image of them, unless you like really didn't like your parents, then you would rebel against them, I guess, a lot. But I would say a lot of us are like spitting image of our parents based on like beliefs, you know. For example, like I don't know, like for example, if someone is racist, they're probably racist because their parents are racist.
Mhm.
But kind of like that, I guess. So I don't know.
I mean, there's that obviously, but I think just people want to have fun. You know what I mean? But the reason I'm not, you know, in Spanish it's called desmadroso.
Yeah.
I mean, like reckless. You know, it's because I feel like I know tomorrow I got somewhere I gotta be.
Mhm.
You know, I know tomorrow, you know, I gotta be home. You know, I know my mom's gonna be tripping and blowing up my phone if I'm not home. So
Yeah.
like, I always keep that in mind. You know, I don't have time to like just like live in the moment. You know,
Yeah.
and like have fun. You know, it's like it's just one shot. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you've seen me drunk. You know, I mean, you know, I can get pretty wild. You know,
Yeah.
you know, give me a fucking large pizza and see what happens.
Oh shit.
No, bro, but you know, but to me it just never seemed worth it, you know. So, but back to the mature thing, you know, if
Yeah.
you genuinely want someone who's gonna be on your level, you need to find someone who knows what they want, you know.
That's
I
true.
feel like get that out the way right away, you know. Like don't interrogate the girl, you know, and be like, "What are you doing?" You know, like if she's like,
Yeah.
like I'm showering, like, "Nah, what are you doing with your life?" Like you gotta give Shorty a mental breakdown, you know. So like, you know, like you gotta find someone who's like on a path or something like.
Who has something going for them? But then again,
Not
like
even that, you know, because like
that's true. Yeah, you're right.
I was listening. I don't even who's that bald guy, the misogynist
Tate.
bald. No, the other one, the darker skin one, the dark skin one, Myron or whatever. His
Oh,
name is.
but Byron. Oh, the guy on the Fresh and Fit podcast.
Is that what it's called?
Byron.
He said one thing that kind of did stick out to me on.
They have like a setup. And
Yeah,
there's like
he's
a.
always kicking girls out and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, that guy. He said something about like how like this girl, she had her own thing going for her. She was making money.
Yeah.
And she's all like, and he's like, what are you gonna do with that money? She's like, well, I'm gonna support me, you know. And then he's all like, so men, you know, we work and make money so we can find a female and support them. You know what I mean? Traditionally. you know?
Traditionally. Yeah.
Traditionally. And then we make all this money, we get all this success, and all we want in return is a woman who we can build with. You know what I mean? At least that's the way I see it.
Yeah, me too.
Build with and
Exactly.
grow. And then a woman makes money and she builds herself up. And okay, so for example, a male makes good money, successful, he's doing his own thing, and you'll find a lesser female and bring her up with him. You know what I mean? And a successful woman wouldn't even think twice about a lesser male.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that's what I mean. You know, like 'cause you don't
And
necessarily.
those are the kind of girls that, and that's good, you know. And I would say that's for a good like category or label for like a independent woman, someone like that who's financially stable just for themselves. But then like, explain it. Like you said, they wouldn't go for someone who
Lesser,
had that
lesser
was less of them.
Mhm.
So it's like they're gonna have to wait a while to find someone who's
like on their level,
on a bigger level.
And that's not me saying that they should settle for less, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But because you can find someone who's up on that level. But I feel like what I mean is like you don't necessarily need someone who's got everything going for them. You know, you just need someone who's mature and a genuine person. You know, for you at least, someone who will not. Because I feel like the reason why your previous relationships ended the way they did is because they weren't ready. You know, they were very immature. Not to say that they were not grown up, but they were just their mentalities were out of whack. You know, like their mentalities were so limited and so narrow. You know, like that they didn't care to see a bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know, and I know you when you think of things kind of like me. You know, you think in the bigger spectrum. You know.
And to be honest with you, I don't even know if they ever will.
I don't know.
I feel like in the majority of people won't ever.
Majority of people don't really won't because it's very hard to do, not to do the easy thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why like my girl, she's very open minded. You know what I mean? She's got plans she wants to do with herself. You know, and I'm there to support that. You know, but that's all I ask.
Yeah.
It's for someone to have plans for themselves. You know, otherwise, it's like. It's because I don't like traditional relationships like our parents' relationship. I mean, your mom was never really a stay-at-home mom, wasn't she? She was always kind of out, no?
Well,
Like
no, well. No, she was usually working. Yeah, depending. When we were really young, she was working like in the night, and my dad would watch us in the day.
Mm-hmm. You know, and that's like something that I would want with my relationship. You know, both of us in our grind, in our bag, supporting each other. You know, but at the end, when we hit that bed together, we're still in love. You know, when we hit that bed together, or on our off days, it's just you and I. You know, I don't mind getting a bag with somebody. You know, that's my dream relationship, getting a bag with somebody. But I mean, as cool as it is to have like a stay-at-home girl, you know, that you could just work for, and I mean that's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like. Where that's only one income, you know what I mean? You know, but if a shorty that's gonna work and like really put in the work and like be like and make money with you, you know, I feel like that's beautiful to me, and I feel like that's not necessarily what you need, but if you had that, you know, I don't think you complain, right?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you're saying if I had a girlfriend that would like that also worked her ass off too. I would love that.
Yeah, you know what I mean. To the point where like because. I know that's beneficial for you both, you and her.
Yeah.
You know, but someone who's just very open minded and someone who's very mature and understanding, I feel like that's what you need. You know, because how many times have you gotten into arguments over misunderstandings?
Probably a lot.
A lot. You know what I mean? On both ends. You know what I mean? You know, because I've gotten into arguments over misunderstandings too. You know, because I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
But I just know that what I want and what I don't want. You know what I mean? I think that's what you need to find. I think you have that, you know?
Yeah.
You have that. Obviously, you'd prefer it if she wasn't a pothead, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that's no problem.
Yeah.
That's not judging.
Exactly.
That's just saying that's not what you were around. You as a kid, as a teenager.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But, you don't want someone who's lazy.
Yeah.
Who just goes about their days like they're forever, just like, oh, well, I'm just going to do this, and this, Who doesn't live their life to the fullest. You don't want someone who's disrespectful, someone who's going to, go behind your back, cheat on you, or lie to you, or cuss you out and treat you bad. You want someone who's mentally mature and emotionally mature. Everybody wants that, you know. But some people like the games, you know, like toxicos, you know. Like, that ain't for me, bro. That ain't for me. You know. So I feel like that's what you need. You need someone who's about themselves.
Yeah.
Someone who loves themselves enough for the both of you. Like Drake said, you know, I love you enough for the both of us. Or I love me enough for the both of us, or something like that.
That's tight.
That is pretty tight. That's the way I see it, you know. That's like, I love me enough for my girlfriend, and I know she loves herself enough for the both of us. Because even she's told me if I mess around behind her back, or if it don't matter how far we are into the relationship, she's turning around and leaving.
Yeah.
You know, because that's just how much respect she has for herself.
For herself, yeah, exactly.
And I'm the same way, you know what I mean? And I just feel like that's what you need, you know? Not because we're the same person, but just because I know how you are.
Yeah.
And I know that you're not about games. I know you're not about, you know, like one night things, you know.
Well, it's just like my channel in general. Like, that's another like example of it. I put so much time into it, and I'm not gonna like I would feel like heartbroken if I put so much time into this for like so long. Let's say like 10 plus years and nothing ever happened, you know, or like putting in like 4-year relationship with someone for it just to like be like, oh.
And are you saying you're scared, or?
No, I'm not. But like not scared, but just like
aware,
critical with who I pick, and like who they are, and getting to know like the people behind them who've impacted their lives. For example, if someone sees someone like my grandpa dad and they meet my grandpa dad, I can be like, oh, well, if he's been around someone, because my grandpa's a good person. He's like, he has good morals. When you hear him talk, he's really like upfront, like he doesn't lie, like he has like good vibes, like my grandpa's one of those guys where he's like just for me, he's always been like the definition of like a man. He's just straight up like classic, like what would you call it, like
old fashioned,
like yeah, gentleman, like a man. That's what I strive to be like every day. Like I always want to be like my grandpa, because you know that's just what I always looked up to. And not to say that I'm old fashioned, obviously, because I'm living in 2023 as a 19-year-old, 18-year-old, but just that
you want to be somebody.
Yeah, be somebody with somebody
for something.
For something, yeah. And
be somebody for somebody for something.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's kind of tight.
Yeah. Be somebody for somebody for something. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly my whole mentality with anything. You know, it's like she always told me that she had this thing when she was growing up, that she always saw herself as somebody's wife. You know, and I was kind of the same. You know, I always saw myself as somebody's husband. Exactly. You know, someone's person. You know, no reason to belong to multiple people. You know, like Jay-Z said in 444, he was like, I couldn't imagine letting another woman know something about
who?
Yeah, you know, who? You know, yeah, I couldn't imagine another woman knowing something about me that you didn't know. You know? So I can't do that. But you know, you just gotta find that person. I think for you personally, I think you need to find that person who's really just who knows what they want.
Yeah.
You know, and what they don't want. You know, and that's what this girl has. You know.
Yeah.
She knows what she wants and what she doesn't want.
That's good.
So, I feel like my only advice to you is be like, I think you should get out there again. Yeah. You know. Pick who you know, don't, you know, and just like don't judge too much, you know, right up front, you know, just because this girl's working at like pretzel maker or like, you know, like Zoomies or something, you know.
Oh shit.
It doesn't mean that you know, that's where she's gonna be for the rest of her life. You know what I mean?
It's just about being proud of where you are, no matter where it is.
Yeah.
Like, for example, even just this podcast in general, I'm proud of the podcast, promoting it, like. I'm not ashamed to do it anymore. It took me a long time to even just talk in front of a camera or talk by myself in my room doing a reaction video, you know? But it's just what I do, so.
And I'm sure there's people out there, there is a person out there for you. You know what I mean? Hopefully you find them, you know, because it'd be a waste of time for you not to experience, not just love, but compassion, you know? Like two people united, you know, being able to call somebody your person is a beautiful feeling, you know, like having that person that you can you can literally sit down for like 30 seconds and decide what you're going to do for the whole day, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of thing, because I know you're good at coming up with dates, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the whole field thing, and then what's it called, the arcade and stuff like that. It's like you're good at coming.
It's not like simple shit, but I don't know, I always have a twist to it.
Yeah.
Like, or even like Jaden, like not to bring him up all the damn time, but like his like.
Oh, Jaden, I thought you meant
Jaden's
cousin. I was like,
Oh, you like you never call him Jaden.
yeah, you didn't call him that. I was like, what do you mean?
Nah, but like his music always like romanticized summer for me, or like just relationships in general, and like how like, I guess how connected you could be with someone, and like how disconnected you could be from someone, but
At the same time.
but the effect in the long run and what it does to like your mental, and like you look back and it's like, damn, like what the hell, or like that's why I like the album Sire so much, because it's really like it's a heartbreak, a love heartbreak story.
Love, problems, heartbreak.
Yeah.
And that's legit the cycle of love.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it's a beautiful thing to experience, because in the moment it feels like it's such a romantic, it's such a great feeling.
Shit, what did he say in his song? He's like,
You did what with who?
damn it, it's an icon. You should play it real quick. It freaking says something in there that I always like. Something.
Miss Fish just did it.
Just don't play it out loud. Or if you could pull up the lyrics somehow. But it says something in there that I've always like looked after and like, damn, like, I don't know. There's like certain NF lyrics too where when I hear it, like, I think, like, Remember This has a couple of quotes in there that I've always looked at, or like, yeah, I guess like try to live off of, I guess, but I forget what the hell that Jane Smith one was. I think it's an icon though, I'm pretty sure. But or even just watching sunsets too is pretty fun. Like I used to watch them by myself. It's just like a whole vibe because it looks different every single day. Different colors, different clouds, different sounds. And if you're feeling different than a certain day, like you can feel sad one day, mad, happy, and then each sunset could be like a little bit different. But damn it, what did he say? He's like
with the lyrics.
Yeah, yeah.
What you gonna not go and living? Start a regular Miss Fish just did it.
Oh yeah, I think it's this one. He says, "Last girl signed a divorce, so what? Now I'm focused, and we all about to blow up." Basically trying to be like, well, shit hit the fan, we blow up, whatever. But fuck, it's time to go up. Like, it's time to just forget about all. Because you can tell when he wrote that song, he was like in a good mood that day. Like forget about her, like let's get it, you know, like in the booth. That's why that song was so good at the time, because it had all that emotion in there. And that lyric itself is probably the reason why that song had that much emotion. Because when I recorded Young Samurai, I had that emotion of being in like a breakup, and I had having all that emotion, and just like that's why Young Samurai is so like, I guess you could say like hard or whatever, but like a lot of people like that song, or like I'll listen to it. I'm like, how the hell did I like do that? Like it just had so much emotion to like put into a song or something. But yeah, maybe I will find a 30-year-old. I'm just kidding.
Definitely not. I said 21, bro. I said 21.
Well, I'm 19. I'll be 19, so we'll see.
I mean, no matter, you know, but just like I'm just saying, you need someone who's like doesn't necessarily have to have it all figured out, you know, but has to have like someone who, doesn't necessarily have to have a plan either, but just someone who's open about their morals and knows that, you know, you have a plan and doesn't want to interfere with it, would rather just support you and build you up.
Yeah,
you know?
Dude, I'll support them too. Like even if it's the littlest thing, or like, I don't know, like I don't know. Every time I date a girl, I'd be like, what are your like morals? Like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to become?
What do you want to be? You know,
like literally, what do you want to become? It could be anything. Like, you want to be like a singer. You want to be like a book, like someone who writes books,
an author,
or like whatever. Like, tell me. Like, don't be ashamed. Like, tell me. Like, I want to see like you when you were 12 years old, dreaming like, oh, I want to be this or that. Like, what did you want to be? And it was always just something that wasn't really like, you know, doctor, but like not that it's bad to be a doctor or anything, but just like I feel like you could always strive to do or to get paid to do what you love, I guess, in a way. And I feel like that's like not necessarily the source of all happiness, but if you do for some reason have like a skill or a talent or something like that you enjoy doing, I feel like you should try to make it your career, income or a career.
Yeah. I feel that. I'm the same way, you know. I used to ask those questions too, you know, because, like, who do you genuinely want to be, you know? Because people spend their whole lives just working a job that just pays the bills, you know. But at the end of the night, they're not happy.
Yeah.
Because they're not happy, you know.
Yeah.
So I always like influence people to be what they want to be, instead of what they have to be, because that's just what kills, you know. It's the American cycle that it kills, you know. It kills. It's lethal, you know. It's like you got enough money you made 150K this year, you know. It's like, okay, well, then what, you know?
Yeah.
Then what? You got a nice car, got a nice house, your kids are happy, your wife's happy. And if that makes you happy, that can make, you know, I know people who are genuinely happy like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know people who aren't.
There's a couple people in mind, now that I think about it, if I did a podcast with like a bunch of people, and I know I never liked the idea of doing like a podcast with a lot of people, but I just thought about it right now, or even not even a podcast, just bringing like, because nowadays if you go to a party, no one's really having a good conversation. It's just some bullshit about whatever, you know. But just having a bunch of people here, like even in the basement, just chilling and just talking. Like no one does that nowadays.
Single serving friends.
Yeah, kind of.
Fight Club, you know.
Fight Club, yeah. Yeah, just sitting down, just talking.
Dancing crap of the world.
Like I don't know who we could bring, but like I have a couple people in mind. Like Vincent, for example. Like I'm sure you haven't talked to him in so long,
I mean,
but it'd be cool just to like.
Did I tell you I want to do interviews with people?
Like in public.
Like personal interviews, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because like people, but I've always wanted to do it with people I know, but I know the people, so like these questions just come to me naturally. Like I can always just talk to people in public very easily because I genuinely have an interest in who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what they do, what they're about, because that shit just strikes me. You know, finding out where people come from, and like that when I was telling you, like Israel, you know, the guy your dad knows, you know.
Oh yeah.
We just work together, you know, like. I don't even know him. Like I'm probably not gonna see him in public, you know.
Yeah.
But we just got to talking and stuff, and then I found out that he knows your dad, that they went to high school together, and all this and that. And it's just like, wow, like how much could you find out about a person just by asking?
Yeah.
And that to me is like if, for example, if you brought Vincent on, you know, I'd be able to talk like so. What was life after like 4th grade since like the last time I saw you? You know, like how was middle school? Like how was high school? You know, like I know you worked at Walmart. How was that? You know, I mean, taking what I know. And then basically building it down, breaking it down, and finding more questions about that. Like, you know.
Very pretty cool.
Like, it just all, it can all funnel down depending on how a person answers a question. And that can lead to follow-up questions. And then follow-up questions and stuff. You know, it's just millions of ways to have a conversation with a person. And I think it's very easy for me to ask questions and have a conversation with a person. That's what I want to do, you know.
Yeah, very cool.
Interviews, you know.
There's a lot of people I miss talking to though, and like I don't know, like I've tried talking to them again, whether it's a homie or a girl or whatever, but like I don't know, just like everyone has a lot of shit going on. It seems like
no one has time, you know.
Yeah,
and I respect that, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like that's about Hunter. The dream I had about him?
I think so. I can't remember that.
I had a dream about him, and then the next day he added me on Snapchat.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. I just don't remember what happened in the dream.
It was important. I just dreamed about him, and the next day he added me on Snapchat.
What was the dream about?
We got stuck in New York, in like a big ass highway, and like we were basically stuck there for like hours, and then out of nowhere, like a little like car pulls up, and then Hunter comes out of it, and we just start talking like nothing, you know. And then the next day I told my girlfriend about it, and she's like, huh, you know, sometimes I think like people have dreams for a reason. I was like, the fuck out, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't tell her that, but I was like, it's like I don't really believe in that, you know what I mean? And then not even like 2 hours later he adds me on Snapchat. And then he's like, yo, is this Ivan I grew up with? And I was like, bro. And he's like, what?
Like I just seen you in New York.
Yeah, I just seen you in my dream, bro. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, you know, but it was crazy to me.
Yeah.
But no, you know, I'd really like to get to know people. I really like talking to people. Cause you can learn so much about people just by a couple questions.
Yeah.
Be surprised.
Yeah. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I find anyone.
Yeah.
But
I think
it's
you
just
will.
a matter of I don't know.
It's like Logic
There's
said.
certain people that I won't talk to because I already know how they are, if that makes sense. But then again, there's probably people out there that I don't know about.
Mhm.
But then again, social media, I can read people very easily just by the way they're acting in the picture or video, or their music taste as well. I feel like it plays a long role too.
You gotta open your mind, open your mind, open your mind. The Logic, you know.
Open your mind,
Open your mind,
yeah.
open your mind.
Or like,
Open your mind.
I don't know. There's a lot of stereotypes that I go through with females.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You gotta open your mind. You know. You got it, bro. You got it.
The statistics that I've seen
Mhm.
are very valid.
I don't know, man. You could be wrong. You know what I mean? It's like.
We're
example-
not gonna get into it.
Nah,
too
we're
deep,
gonna get
even though I
into
want
it.
to.
Yeah. Like it's a.
Because I can be very specific, but I don't know if I should.
What's it called? Last year, after there was this girl I was talking to, and I was like low key, like I was feeling her like good, and I met her, and we hung out one day, and her dad caught us hanging out.
Yeah.
And he got like all protective and stuff, you know. He ended up like pulling her away and like taking her home, you know. And after that, like everything just crumbled, and I was like really upset about it. And then Saul was like talking to me about it. He's like, we made a promise to each other, you know. So I was talking to him. We were talking about girls and stuff, and he's like, bro, I would never date an emo. And then I was like, I would never date a girl. I would never date a girl. No, yeah, bro.
That's what I'm sure you would say.
Yeah, he's like, I would never
he's
date.
told me that before.
Yeah, he's like, I would never date an emo. And I was like, I would never date a girl that went to the gym. And then, well, you know, and that's a stereotype that I live by. That's a stereotype.
What the heck?
You know?
Yo.
Yeah, you see what I mean? And now he's dating a girl who's, I wouldn't say emo, but she's definitely got that alternative.
Okay,
God,
I get the perspective.
And my girl, she got a back like me, you know, and you know, you know, and like, you know, you open up your mind and you allow your walls to come down. You never know.
That's a good perspective.
You know, that's a good example. It's just an example, you know.
I'm gonna go listen to the whole everybody.
Okay, I was gone for a minute, but I'm back now. You know.
So here we go. Am I ready?
Ready?
It's a
I
good
don't
album
know.
right there.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you know,
That's
open
not
your
bad,
mind, open your mind. I mean, you know, I'm not saying let down everything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I could ever date like a hood rat girl. You know what I mean? I don't want to deal with that. You know.
Yeah.
You know, but like some things, you know, like, you know, maybe try a girl who's basic. You'll never know. You know, because I'm not saying every girl who listens to like Ed Sheeran and like Caliuchis and what's it called, like SZA and stuff like that is bad, you know, because there's a chance it couldn't be, you know. She just doesn't have as deep of a taste in music as you or me, you know. But that doesn't make her a very basic, you know, service level person. But I feel like that's why I say there's levels to people, you know what I mean? You know, somber, you know, everybody's life is equally as complex and.
We'll just go through JDC's following until I find a chick, bro.
No, bro. Like, oh, you listen to JDC? How'd you know? I went through his following and I found you on there.
Hey,
No.
JDC. Shout out JDC. If she listens to JDC, she's valid. If not, then
Nah,
she's not the
anyway,
one.
I'm just saying, bro. Open your mind. You know what I mean? You might end up like me. So, dating the type of people we said we'd never date. You know. You know, we made a problem. We said no more weird bitches, and now look at us. You know.
So if I told myself I never did, okay, it's about to get wicked right now.
Yeah,
A female suicide bomber from Afghanistan. So then you're telling me that
it's gonna come true. You just manifested it.
That's crazy.
She gonna come into your life. You know.
the wedding photo, the camera guy's like, all right, 3, 2, 1,
What the fuck?
and then it's just there's just explosions going off like just barely before
In the
everything takes
background.
impact.
Mm-mm. No, I'm just saying, but you know, you never know. You never know what could be in store for you.
That's true.
Oh.
That's true.
Don't close your doors off quite yet. Especially not now. Now that you're actually trying to look for something serious. You know?
Yeah.
You never know. This girl could have like the flattest music taste, bro. And I know you'd be mad as hell about it, but
I'll spice it up.
yeah, I know. You know, but don't
Like
let
the
that.
first song? Garbage. Garbage.
Out of here, bro.
The garbage music taste.
Mm-mm.
And then as soon as we split,
Stole your whole shit.
stole the whole vibe.
Stole the whole playlist.
Yeah, literally. Hey, long story short, not everyone listens to UK rap, but UK rap popped up one day.
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh, cool.
And then?
And I'm like, all right, time to move on to the next lady.
And then?
And now, well, I don't know. I'm barely now thinking about getting into a relationship again.
Yeah.
But only because I was just staying consistent with the music from January till now, which is a pretty good run, I would say. Because I have like 9 songs out, and then with like my 104 videos on YouTube, that's how many I have now.
Mhm.
And the podcast too, so I think as long as I stay in the loop, and that's another thing too. I was still doing reaction videos when I was with them too,
Mhm.
so I was a
Yeah, so
I
it's
know
not,
I
it's not
can
gonna
do
take
it.
you away from it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just find someone who's on your level. You know what I mean?
But I would never talk to them about it too. I feel like I needed to,
Be open about it.
but I mean, it didn't work out. So I mean, they probably would never
Support
supported me on it anyways. And even if they did, I mean,
They probably would have been very vague about it, like, "Oh yeah, go ahead."
yeah.
You know?
So,
But no,
but everything happens for a reason, I guess.
exactly.
So I don't know. Stomach.
Should have gotten some from Dairy Queen, bro.
What?
Should have gotten some from Dairy Queen.
Oh no, I'm not hungry. It's just my stomach. But that's it, no?
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys got something out of this. This is probably
Somber. Look it up.
Sonder. There's actually an artist.
Sonder.
Sonder.
Yeah, my bad. Not somber. Sonder.
There's an artist named Sonder.
Yeah, it's Ben Fayez.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's his.
His group. He was part of a group before he went solo.
Oh shit.
Sonder.
Because I found one of his songs. I had it in one of my playlists, and then it blew up all of a sudden. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I guess I never heard of that song all of a sudden.
But yeah,
Just 'cause I don't like
Sonder.
listening to it.
Remember that. Remember that. Next time, someone messes up your order at McDonald's, Sonder. Next time someone cuts in front of you in traffic, Sonder.
Yeah.
Don't be like this animal over here. It's cut off in traffic. That's the end of your
I
life.
think like that sometimes. I have a Sonder mindset once in a while. I'll be like,
Sonder.
I'll give him some mercy.
Sonder. Chicano pride.
Chicano power.
Chicano power.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to all the Chicanos who watch this. Shout out to all the non-Chicanos. Shout out to you guys. Much love.
Mhm.
Want to be on the podcast? You can either drop a comment or just text me directly. I have my Instagram down below. I'll have his down there too. Go give him a follow. He has a couple tracks on SoundCloud, and then we also have a song together, Yin Yang Cypher. I'll put that one down
Cypher.
below too.
Mhm.
I'll probably have that song be the outro to this,
Okay.
maybe,
That's good.
because I know it's easy for me to do it. Just add my original intro that I have now,
Mhm.
but I'll try to edit it real quick. But yeah, episode 14. What's my unique, aka Ivan. Doogie, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, hit me up if you want to be
Featured.
featured. It could be anyone. Don't be afraid. Even if you don't even like talking, like if we're chill with each other, it's gonna be the same thing. Just phone recording. Some people have been like, yeah, like I want to do podcasts with you, but like I'm kind of camera shy. And I'm like, it's pretty
Yeah.
easy. Just
Yeah.
get in the
Talk to
groove,
me.
and then eventually, once you're 35 minutes in, it's just like,
It's natural.
yeah. So,
Thank y'all for watching.
deuces.
I'm not gonna put this in the camera this time.
Deuces.
Get up, Chucky! Get up! You fuck with my familia, eh? You gotta answer to me here and now. Come on!
Lock in the dollars and I hope it got this no big kid because we never fall the regular thing to bring it low, bringing on with no bodies, no hoes. You're talking that shit, but they ain't never got the flow. Okay,
You ready to throw jodazos, papa? Simón Piñón. Fuck yeah.
Yo, Adam, where you at? Time killer, I speak go down. Got a couple